Are you ready for non-stop action? Do you want to feel in control as you slice and dice every enemy your way with your sword? Can you handle the amount of badass characters ready to kick the ever-living crap out of each other until they die? Well, you came to the wrong game. This is Wet. Oh dear God, no, not that. Wet is actually a reference to Wetworks, aka Assassinations. You play as Ruby Malone, a mercenary woman whose manner of speech makes her a perfect companion for the rebooted Dante.
Fuck you.
No. Fuck you.
And being a Grindhouse game, you can kind of predict this is going to be a tale of vengeance. A tale of vengeance in which some characters are dropped for good. Who is this one guy who stabs Ruby and is a bodyguard for the main villain? Nobody knows, since he just ups and vanishes from the game. How about this chubby guy who drugs Ruby and was close to her? Yeah, he vanishes too, clearly sucked in by the plot hole. It also offers little to no characterization with Ruby or anyone else, so if you are hoping for an entertaining narrative, you're out of luck. I can't even remember who most of these people are, but it definitely has the over-the-top nature of a Grindhouse film right down to the looks. Though I could do without the constant commercials. It was a cute idea at first, but it kills the flow of the game just to pad things out. I will say the game certainly looks good enough and the animations are cool as well. The soundtrack is definitely mostly guitar music, so if that isn't your fancy, tough luck. The problem is that it isn't noticeable unless you are in specific sections of the game. Outside of them, well, be prepared for blandness to accompany the gameplay. And unfortunately, the rest of the game is not nearly as good as the music. It's a third-person shooter that relies on the occasional platforming and use of slowing down time with jumping, sliding, and running on walls. At first, it can be fun. After all, who doesn't like slow-motion kills? Then it quickly becomes annoying and repetitive when you realize the levels constantly repeat the same kind of thing. Maneuvering around the environment is frequent and expected, since standing still or just running around aimlessly will get you killed extremely easily. It's all about style, kind of like Devil May Cry if used with Max Payne, but overuse a slow-motion feature. And sucks. Since the slowdown is unlimited, you'd be a fool not to use it. Hell, sometimes the platforming doesn't even work right in the game, and the camera becomes one of your biggest enemies, but you do get points to spend on better abilities and such. Granted, the game doesn't really feel all that different. You can also get new weapons, but the game transitions you to a few months ago where Ruby has to practice using the damn things through a mandatory obstacle course, crushing any flow the game had. There are also collectibles too, and you can even unlock stuff like biographies in the soundtrack. Oddly enough, I learned more about the characters in those bios than in the actual game. There are also stages where Ruby gets blood on her face and everything turns red. It's a decent visual style, but otherwise nothing really changes that much. True, the score meter is more focused on how many enemies you kill, but other than that, there's really no difference. Then there are the real sections where Ruby is either moving on vehicles or flying through the air, and any sense of fun is removed aside from looking really cool. Since the slowdown feature is taken away, you just get hit and die a lot. Boss fights are identically lazy as hell too, as you either face a heavy machine gun guy you can't hit with your sword for some bizarre reason, and then you go into a quick time event to kill them. Other boss fights are just QTEs as well, even in the final battle too, so just press up a few buttons and you win. That's it. Yeah, that's not disappointing or anything. You know, I'd actually love to play the damn boss fight, but whatever. Well, at least we can rest assured, this trend is not caught on. Oh, for the love of God, why? Overall, Wet feels underdeveloped and its potential squandered with what could have been a good game. Repetitive levels and an absurd amount of QTE events are not enough for a game, even if Eliza Dushku is part of the game. So, my final verdict is, avoid it. Just avoid it and go watch Machete. I'm the smartest moron. No, seriously, go watch Machete.
Digging up the graves in old tombstone.